Welcome to Sled Talk, where we love talking everything snowmobiles, from pulling the cord to pulling your hair out. There's nothing in the snowmobile world we won't talk about. I'm Rob Reed.
I'm Steve Glass.
And welcome to the show. So Steve, now that I'm back from a little bit of a vacation, the Mexican Montezuma's Revenge and all the stuff that went with it.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, it was
a couple of days.
Fun. Yeah, I got to know certain. Yeah, I know. Now I know why it's refried beans. Anyways, a lot of stuff going on out there in the world, and first off, what I've been seeing is police on sleds. I've been seeing more and more of that in posts going on, and snowmobiles out, or cops on sleds on trails.
I will say I've seen that more in the last couple of years than I ever have.
Mm-hmm. In fact, they did a little sting out in Ontario, and I can't remember the exact spot, but in one day they'd handed out 30 plus citations.
I read about that.
Everything from not having registration to not being registered to you name it, everything. So that was a mountain of citations being written. Mm-hmm. And, as a guy that hates getting a ticket, who has spent a career talking my way out of them, I am glad to see that there is some enforcement going on, because, as I said to you earlier, before the camera started rolling, I don't want to turn this into the safety show, but it does help bring some awareness.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah. Do you remember when we were youngsters, riding up Netley Creek? I think it was a poker derby, actually. And they had the whole creek barred it off so that you could only go one sled at a time between them.
I do remember that, yeah.
That was a brilliant way to see everybody's snowmobile and check for stuff.
Yeah, and fortunately we were properly registered and had our paperwork. And there was no problem. But it's funny the things that you forget about, because it really wasn't an issue.
No, it wasn't at all. I just remember coming around a corner and it was, really caught your attention.
Yeah, for sure. So Arctic Cat has been busy. They have bought a company called Widescape, and they make these stand-up sleds.
Yeah.
They're kind of a neat looking thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I think it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
It looks like a snow runner all over again to me.
Okay.
To my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I just saw it and went, ugh.
Well, what I see is kind of like the Sea-Doos and wet jets and all that just piss people off.
Riding around in circles?
Going around in circles, pissing everyone off.
Yeah.
And from there, getting banned. Like you go to, say, Falcon Lake, they've banned those Sea-Doos and things on there because people are just a pain in the ass with them.
They can't get away from the crowds.
Yeah.
Does your thing say they're $6,000?
Yeah, you can buy one for about $6,000. So I mean, you could trade in, half of your fleet and buy one.
Yeah. I would try one.
Yeah.
I would try one, but I don't want to stand up all day either.
Yeah, well, for sure.
I don't know. We'll have to see if they catch on.
Oh, no, I'd love to try one too. And I guess it really depends where you're riding.
Yeah.
I'm going to say flat prairie, running down, the ditches. The only time they'd probably be fun is at the driveway approaches.
Yeah.
But beyond that, if you're just scooting along a flat piece of ground,
maybe tourism.
I think I'd rather be sitting down.
Maybe tourism, where you're, instead of hiking through a park or something.
Yeah.
You could be on one of those, just riding it, standing up, looking around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What were those things? Those Unos or Segways? Segways. Are kind of like a Segway with a track.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little faster.
Snowhawks, people thought were going to be a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
They didn't really.
Yeah.
No, I saw those and I just went, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking on this one. Maybe they've done the research and they're going to be popular.
Well, I'm going to say Arctic Cat's gotten pretty aggressive. They've had some pretty big hirings.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot of very aggressive marketing out there. The sleds look nice.
They do.
I have to say they look nice.
Yeah.
And again, a purchase like this tells me that they are getting aggressive in the market. They are here to stay. Hopefully they're not overextending themselves and back where they were a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Well, just last year, really. And, who knows? I guess anytime you get someone out on the snow, maybe it's kind of like training wheels. So, you get your kids riding one of these stand-up things for a season, and then you can graduate them to something a little bigger.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. I bet you Chrysler thought the Snow Runner was a good idea when they made it too. And you know how useful that one of mine is. Not very.
Not very at all. Yeah,
but it's a neat thing. Maybe there'll be a cool thing to be sitting on a shelf 20 or 30 years from now. Say, look, I got one of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, they might be okay. I don't
Collector's
know.
item.
I won't say nothing. It's like electric sleds and that. I've got to try one first.
You know, the thing with collector's items is the one thing they do, collect dust.
Yeah, they do. Sometimes they can go up in value, but yeah, true.
So a few things that have been going on, I'm going to say kind of locally, somewhat nationally, kind of trying to stay in that local national events vein of the show. Journey for Sight, and anyone that doesn't know what Journey for Sight is, started up in Flin Flon, Manitoba, back in 1986.
Yeah, I had no idea it was 20 years.
Yeah.
I just only heard about 40 years. Okay.
40 years.
So that's my math.
Yeah.
I've only just really heard of it the last few years.
Right, yeah.
I guess it's spreading. I guess it was more local before.
It was. So what they do is they start riding up in Flin Flon, Manitoba, which if you take a look at a map, if you're not from Manitoba, and ride all the way down to Brandon, there's a couple different staging areas and the groups go on different runs. Yep.
20.
'86.
Okay, but you said you got 20 written right
Well,
there.
I don't know. Obviously, it was a typo from them guys.
Okay, it wasn't all my fault then.
Well, I didn't point that out. You're not supposed to be reading my notes.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So, long story short, they start up in Flin Flon, if I can continue.
It's a fantastic cause.
Yeah, they get down to somewhere like, what is it, Swan River.
Yeah, that's still way up there. And
Yeah, and?
I just wanted, this is, I said I was going to interrupt you during this ride.
Okay.
From Flin Flon to Swan River coming down here while you were in Mexico.
Yep.
It was like 30 above with minus 50 wind chills that week.
30 above.
I'm below, sorry. Yeah, you got me on that one. It was freaking cold that week. That was
Yeah.
the coldest week we've had this year. And I heard about these guys riding from Flin Flon, and I was thinking to them, they're probably riding south going, oh, it's going to warm up, and it was just getting colder.
I'm going to tell you, Steve, if you live in Flin Flon or northern
Yeah,
Manitoba,
okay, you're probably more than...
yeah, I'm going to say that's a day at the park for those
Okay, you're
guys.
probably more... Okay. It was my thought then.
Yeah.
That the poor guys were going to think it's going to get nicer, and it was just getting worse.
But overall, the ride is, I'm going to say, north of 600 kilometers by the
ride.
time they get down to the southwest corner of the province, kind of where your cottage is.
Yeah.
So that's a good long ride. It's a couple there.
Yeah.
They do a lot of work to organize it. They call ahead to the different towns, and it sounds like people are really receptive. The money that's raised stays in the local areas, which allows for people for cataract operations and different eyesight things, some hearing stuff, that all stays in that local area. Since they've started this in 1986, 40 years ago.
Maybe that's wrong.
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
I don't believe it is. They've raised $2.5 million.
That's fantastic.
For their local communities.
Yep.
So, you know what? Good job, guys.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Keep it
awesome.
up.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Did you know?
Oh,
Did you know?
I did.
Okay. That there is a movie being shot here in Manitoba. Part of it's going to be shot out in Beasuejour at the track.
Yep.
It's going to be called Northern Lights. I guess we won't see it till next year.
Right.
They are currently looking for extras and people with riding experience and racing experience.
And sleds.
And
Looking
sleds.
for a bunch of sleds too.
That can get out and do some riding and be some extras. The movie, from what I understand here, this raw, high-stakes drama is about an 18-year-old fearless snowmobiler who is desperate to go pro and break free from her small-town life. It's described as gritty, dark, and emotionally charged. Well, may as well get our movie thing in there, right?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
They are filming from January to late March. So if you've got an opportunity to get out there or you want to get in touch with these people, look it up. If you've got some experience, and I've said this, to you, if you're able to ride a snowmobile backwards, upside down, 100 miles an hour while pulling up beside your buddy and hitting his kill switch, you're probably good for the movie.
Yep. Yep. The only problem when I saw the ads for this is they never said what kind of racing it was. And I was talking to guys, and they're like, is it, because people were kind of interested, but they were, is it snowcross? Is it drag racing? Is it oval track?
I think it's oval.
I think it's oval too, But they didn't actually put that in their thing when they were looking for riders and snowmobiles.
Right.
So nobody knew what kind of snowmobile they were supposed to show up with or what they were interested in. That was the only problem with when they were hunting around for sleds.
So apparently, there's going to be day and nighttime shooting.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they do drags at night.
No, I'm sure if they're doing it in Beasuejour, I'm sure it's oval.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
fantastic.
sure that's
Cool.
what it is.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Look forward to seeing that next year. And again, if you want to get out there, and especially if there's some ladies that race, get in there, ladies, because you will get a spot.
That's neat.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Lastly, of some of the exciting stuff that I've got going on to share, because I'm not doing any of this, I just kind of read it and find it and share it. Wasaga, the Wasaga Beach Snowmobile Club is trying to break a Guinness Book of World Records. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Okay. So on February 15th, so it's coming up, they are doing this Sled Heads for Kids will host Sled Fest for a record attempt to beat the world record for the largest snowmobile parade.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which means your sled has to be running.
See, I wasn't listening to you when you were talking about that earlier, so I wasn't sure about the parade. That's cool.
Yeah.
That would be a neat event.
The only time you hear me is when I say it's time for you to buy lunch. That's the only time you listen.
That would be a cool day, even if you were just watching it.
Yeah, I think so. So the current record is being held by the Whitecourt Trailblazers of Alberta with 1,047 snowmobiles. They did the parade back in February of 2015. Now they took the record from the Science Hill Drifters that were in Ontario. And apparently these people from Ontario want the record back. Proceeds are going to food banks and Yamiche children's camps. So it's nice that the money's going back to charity, Steve. Yep. You know, I gotta say, a little aside here, but between the Ride for Sight, there's another ride that goes on that raises money for kids with prosthetics and things like that. There's a lot of different charity rides that are raising money for the communities. Good on anyone that's involved in that sort of thing and giving back.
We should try to hit one next year.
Yes, we should, absolutely. Anyways, getting back to this particular world record, Guinness Book of World Records, the in-person registration is $15 per snowmobile, and a non-perishable food item would be accepted.
That's cool.
Yeah. Of course, they require proof of registration in Ontario with a valid trail pass. Steve's not screwing that one up again.
I never got caught.
I'm talking about the
park pass thing or the
free February thing where you led me down the garden path and told me all.
You screwed that all up and blamed it on me. I just watched that video the other day. Actually.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Anyways, so long story short, make sure you're properly equipped. A great fundraiser, and this is for the Guinness Book of World Records. Do you know where that comes from?
Nope.
So the Guinness family, in an effort to sell more beer.
Oh, is it really?
In an effort to sell more beer.
Okay, yeah.
Decided that people sit in pubs and argue about crap all the time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine two guys sitting there having a beer arguing?
No.
I couldn't imagine that either. And so they created the Book of World Records so people in the pubs could refer to the book
that's interesting.
and have talking points. So it all goes back to drinking beer.
Neat.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So.
I have a question.
Okay.
What's your thing about warm-up shack pictures? Because I like it.
Okay, I was going to ask people, because there's all kinds of warm-up shacks out there.
Absolutely.
And I mean,
that's what I saw that on there and I went, that's cool, that's a good idea.
We've seen some, I'm going to say, incredibly elaborate, beautiful warm-up shacks.
Yep.
And we've seen some shit shacks.
Oh yeah.
I'll call it that. Where the door doesn't even close properly, 6-inch gap at the top or the bottom. And it just basically, something that the mice have taken over, and they're terrible.
Yeah, there are a few of those out there still.
But they are slowly disappearing, and people are putting more and more effort into creating some really, really comfortable, nice shacks. So we'd love to see them.
Do you remember the one up past, up near Riverton? That was, I swear it had to be somebody's cabin at one time. It had that huge front porch, and it had that massive stone fireplace in the back.
Oh yeah.
But they didn't use the fireplace, they had a wood stove in there. Huge kitchen table with the maps on it and everything. That was a really nice shack. I wonder what that one's like right now, because that was getting pretty old at the time.
Well, I hope it's still there.
Yeah, I can think of 3 or 4 that I pretty impressed with over the years.
Well, and Steve, it talks to the amount of work that the clubs and the volunteers put in, because it's not just, you know, the keeping the trails clean and well groomed.
Yeah.
That's the real obvious stuff.
Yeah.
But the work to cut the wood, you know, split wood, manage and maintain these shacks in, you know, it's something that they can be really proud of and show them off. And I think the idea of us being able to see some of these great shacks is fantastic.
And it really might make you want to ride to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, encourages people to get out on those trails.
You know what I've seen that's interesting in the last few years is storage containers getting turned into shacks. They're not the prettiest ones, but it's a pretty solid, quick idea. Well, and pretty hard to damage.
Well, I was going to say, you know what? The retards that are out there snowmobiling and doing the damage, burning them down, aren't burning one of those down.
And then those pre-made sheds with the decks on the front, a couple of those that were really nice.
Yeah.
And the Stonewall Club, I think, have you ridden up to their grain silo one this year?
Oh yeah, many times.
So they have the grain silo shack.
Yeah.
But then I heard that they put up another one, which is mostly just for the roof, and they have a fire pit in the middle of it.
It's right beside it.
Is it kind of a neat thing? Like, they're having a fun day coming up.
Yeah. Well, if it's a warm day,
yeah,
and you just want to sit outside and enjoy a fire,
that would be neat.
I mean, that's a great place to do it. It's still sheltered. It's still in the bush.
Yeah.
But you can sit outside and have a fire as opposed to sitting inside.
Yeah, I'm going to have to run over and have a look at that one.
Yeah, no, I've been in that one this year. It was there last year as well.
Oh, the fire pit one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fine then.
I'm glad you're on board. Jeez. What was he thinking, Steve? So there are some people, I'm going to assume it was more than one.
I think they're looking for a group.
Could be,
That's what I read.
Yeah, looking for a group out in Lanigan, Saskatchewan.
Yep.
Now, I've been in Lanigan, Saskatchewan. And it's a nice little town. I was actually there for a fire rodeo a number of years ago. Anyone that doesn't know what a fire rodeo is where teams of firefighters compete to show off their skills, to win some trophies. And it's a pretty interesting event to watch them do all that. One of the most exciting things was here we are deep in Saskatchewan. Lanigan is, I'm going to say, about an hour outside of Saskatoon. And there was a Winnipeg Blue Bomber sign in somebody's front window.
Oh, okay.
And I got to say, that's got to be the bravest guy in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
To be in the heart of Ryderville
with
a bomber sign. Oh, man, I'd love to meet that guy, have a beer with him.
Those Saskatchewan guys put flags up all over around our cottage in Manitoba.
I know, they're crazy. Absolutely crazy. But anyways, out in Lanigan, Saskatchewan, this is pretty sad as much as we kind of made light of the other part. 4 coyotes were run over by snowmobilers, 2 of which were killed, and 2 of which had to be dispatched by local wildlife officials. And they're looking for these guys. There's a $2,000 reward for any information that's going on that. You can call SaskTip or Turn In Poachers, the TIPP. This is illegal. Like running over coyotes, running over rabbits, like killing wildlife with your snowmobile is against the law. On top of the fact that it just makes you, I'm going to say it, just makes you an asshole.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So don't do it.
Don't even chase them around and
freeze
run them
their
out of
lungs.
breath. Yeah,
because running hard like that in the wintertime does damage to their lungs, and it may not kill them right then and there.
Yeah.
But what a painful way to go. So, with that in mind, Wolf Guy. Wolf Guy is back in the news. A judge is now contemplating putting him in front of a jury, sending this to trial. So the last I read was, the last time we reported on this particular guy, he was trying to weasel out of his charges saying I didn't do it, and he was trying to find loopholes. Well, the judges said that's not right, and he is contemplating taking it to trial. So I haven't seen anything that officially says it's going to trial yet, but this was 2 or 3 days ago when I read it, and I'm assuming that that's coming. And I would like to think that there's 12 men and women that will look at that and look at those pictures and go, we're slamming you, buddy. You're getting the max. And I really hope that's the case.
Yeah, they should really, they gotta get it out in the news and let people know. You can't do that kind of crap.
Yeah, well, and coyotes and wolves get such a bad rap.
Yeah.
And whereas they are kind of nature's cleanup crew.
Yeah.
They keep the rodents to a minimum.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, sure, as a farmer, they may
Yes.
pinch the odd calf, and I understand that's a concern.
Yep.
But not very often. You know, they're going after the smaller stuff and things that they can get. Now I get it, you know, wolves, a pack of wolves in the middle of January is going to go after a bigger animal, and they're capable of doing it, they will. But when the food is abundant, they're certainly not doing that.
But there's a way to deal with that, not running them over with your snowmobile.
Well, absolutely. There is, yeah. And I mean, I know guys out there that are hunters, trappers.
Yeah.
And, you know, they take them and take the furs. This wasn't the case here. They just ran them over and left them there to die.
Yeah. Yep,
And again, that's just wrong. So, with that in mind, Steve.
Yes.
I know that you've got a couple things you want to bring up today.
Yep.
Usually you're kind of just letting me run with this, but apparently you want to be, chatty Cathy today. So have at her, my friend.
Not really chatty, but I want to thank Ron from Clarkston, Washington.
Clarkston, Washington.
Yeah. He saw that my Yamaha SRX, which is behind us, I don't know if it could be seen in the thing or not, was missing the rubber boots on the front suspension.
Okay.
And he contacted me and sent me a pair of used rubber boots on his dime.
Nice.
Yeah, paid for the freight and everything. It was super nice. I
Good
didn't
on
want
you,
anything
Ron.
in return. Yeah.
Good on you. I mean, talk about some kindness in the world. Right?
Yeah, that was super nice. Like just to contact me and say he had them, and if I wanted them, he would just ship them to me.
Yeah.
And then I asked about shipping, and he said he would cover it all.
Wow.
And maybe bother me with some technical questions later or something.
Well, you know, it's always good to give back. You know, and I know you do a lot of giving, so it's nice when things come your way as well.
Yeah, that was nice to him.
Yeah,
So
that's super nice.
thank you, Ron.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go on about gas caps, probably again, but I had a snowmobile come into my shop with I don't know if that is going to show
Don't
up really
shake it
well
up.
or not, but it makes it like a.
I know you can see that, but I thought you were going to like do a martini.
No, I just wanted to get the landscape going with like a liter of water in the tank because it had a fuel cap with no glass on it.
Right.
And I get him in here all the time, and I'll say to a guy, "There's no glass in your cap," and he just goes, "Yeah, there's no glass, whatever." But that's a funnel now
Why?
because there's a hole in the bottom of it,
Okay.
and it's a V.
Right.
So any water that hits this cap is running right down into your tank.
Okay, so here's another thing that goes with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're out riding, it's snowing.
Yeah.
Your engine's running. What's it doing?
Getting hot.
And it's drawing fuel out of your tank.
Yes.
So it's creating a negative pressure.
That's true. Yeah, you would be sucking in stuff too.
Yeah. So it's going to be sucking snow, ice, whatever that's going by. So not only is it just, like you say, the luck of the draw that what lands in there,
yeah.
now it's actively drawing it in.
Yeah. Every time it snows, it sits there and then it melts and runs in. And these things are only like $35. You know, $35. Get a new one. Save yourself that much water in your fuel tank and having to bring your snowmobile in for service somewhere.
You know the worst part is? There's that much water and crap, because it's filthy, in your tank. And there's some guy out there takes one of those little vials of isopropyl and drops it in his tank and goes, okay, I solved the problem, but my sled still won't run.
Well, let me tell you,
that won't do it.
there's a lot of isopropyl in there right now because I wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah.
And it did nothing.
Yeah.
The isopropyl might be the cloudy part.
Yeah, it probably is that cloudy part.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, your sled may stop running because there's ice in the fuel lines.
Well, you could kill you could freeze a jet and kill a motor.
Yeah,
too, right?
absolutely, because you just leaned it right out. And like I say, you blow a motor.
So this one, in this case, when I took the carburetors apart, water came out of them. So then I had to go to the tank. But I knew, as soon as the guy drove up, I just said to him, "You have no glass in your cap." I point that out to everybody, and they just look like they don't. Most of the time, they just don't even care that they're missing that. It's like, oh yeah, it's missing.
So you work hard to get them a new one?
Yes, I put a new one on. I didn't even ask about it.
All right, well that makes sense because, like you say, it isn't even so much. I mean, half the time gas gauges, do you really believe them?
That's true.
You know that your sled's gonna go, I'll say 80 miles on a tank of gas. You're leaving the house with a full tank.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need the gauge.
No. And some guys, when I put that on my Facebook page, it got a lot of comments, which is really cool. And some guys said they just silicone over them or whatever, which is fine. As long as that's not your main vent for your tank, that's fine. Like, silicone it over, don't use it. Just don't leave it with the glass missing, acting like a funnel.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So
Good tip,
that
Steve.
got a lot of information. And then It's so common. And then everyone's like, yeah, we see it every sled that comes into our shops like that. So
Yeah, no, great tech tip.
And then I put a post on my page about some homemade wear bars. It was just a picture. It was the guy put on 2 rebar wear bars.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
And they were really well made. And that had over 60,000 views and a ton of comments, because a lot of comments were kind of, a little bit, well, actually, there was very few negative ones. Most people just thought it was pretty creative. But what it brought was a lot of people probably our age talking about what they used to do and the products they used to use. Remember back in the day when you opened up the trunk of your car and it was like those wire springs?
Right.
Apparently those make great wear bars. And then guys were saying they used to take V-funnels or V-files and put them on the bottom of wear bars. There was a lot of really cool, just people reminiscing about, I mentioned about your sled with the angle iron, which was holding the ski together and working as a rebar.
Do you remember what that was?
It was some piece of, I don't know for sure.
It was the...
Something off a piece of farm equipment.
Yeah,
Okay.
off of a swather. The metal bars that catch the grain and move it to the, or I guess it's not separated at that point, but it's moving the wheat or oats or whatever the hell it is into the center so it can get drawn in. And so we took that off those belts and welded them up, and same thing.
And part of that was to hold your ski, which broke in half together.
Yeah.
And the other was it made a wear bar.
Yeah, well, they were stainless steel.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and because they were a channel.
Yeah. Now you had a dual carbide.
Yeah, and they were the length of the ski, so holy shit, that thing didn't turn when you were sitting still.
That was probably a bad design.
For that idea?
You should have, yeah. You're not supposed to have that much steering out in front.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a lot of really cool comments about what people used to do and everything. I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
And very little few people bashing it.
I'm going to say, the farming community are a pretty inventive group of people. And good on them.
A lot of the comments were people, they were out in the country where they didn't have access to parts, and this is what they would do, and it was neat. It was really neat to see.
Yeah. And yet now, you can drop ship parts to people.
Yes, I can. Sure I can, yeah.
Great.
And then the only other thing I had on my Facebook page was just my old Skidoo SDI 600 motor that's getting up to 22,000 kilometers. So I just posted a little video of it, and I got over 60,000 views and a ton of comments about those motors and how good they were and everything. And I just wanted to ask people what they thought was the most reliable motor.
Okay, most reliable motor.
I asked one guy,
there.
top 3, I think he said this one, the 600 SDI, and I believe he mentioned a Yamaha that he thought was, and I agreed with the 3 he mentioned, but I just want to know what people think.
Well, I'm going to say this. In the world of snowmobiling,
Yeah.
there are usually more dogs than good ones.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's face it, these snowmobile engines are going through hell in tough conditions.
They're all the 2-strokes are going to blow up eventually. Yeah.
Eventually, but some are worse than others.
Yeah.
That one of yours, I mean, I don't know what Ski-Doo did to stumble into that one.
Yeah.
They got lucky.
There was a lot of comments from people that had equal that kind of mileage on them.
Yeah, I'm thinking the engineers went for lunch and the janitor came in and made a couple of design changes.
Yeah.
And that's why that engine was so good.
That could be.
Yeah. But I think of the, Polaris, the Indy Trails, those 488 fans.
Yeah,
You couldn't kill those motors.
Yeah,
They
those
just,
were very good.
Energizer Bunny, they just kept on going.
You put a tremendous number of miles on your old XLT,
Yeah.
but that was the 580.
That was the 580 before they,
And I don't
changed it to a
I
600.
don't think the 600 was as good a motor.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was reliable, as reliable.
Yeah. So I want to know what people think.
Okay.
What's the most reliable snowmobile motor made?
Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got? That's it? You're done sharing with everybody out there?
Buy a new gas cap.
Okay.
Make your own wear bars if you want to.
If you want to.
And if you do, send a picture.
Yeah. Well, and again, with the warm-up check, send a picture.
Oh yeah, I want to see more checks too.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, snowmobiling is all about performance. And Performance Supply is all about ensuring that you have a great snowmobiling season. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.